beautiful retards, like, exotic retards. And just like, um, who wrote that evolution book? Charles or Richard? Who the fuck is the famous?
Dickens, whatever.
No, Darwin.
Darwin.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy in evolution theory.
This is like the next step of understanding, reality, because this is like going to those southern islands off of the coast of Argentina to see like those crazy birds,
That would be evolution theory.
It'd be what?
Devolution.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, then it doesn't matter. We're just trying to do an observational study of people in the wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes go there in the morning, but I don't know. There are people that are wild there.
Have you died on a hill recently for anything?
What?
Have you died on a hill recently for anything?
No, I don't think so. I don't die on hills anymore.
Goo loves to come up here and say the N-word, and he's like, I got that in your YouTube channel. Ha!
Just went to a big corner a moment ago, and just the typical idiocy, he put on mics and puts like very loud music, and it's like, yeah, that's boring. We're in year 5 of Clubhouse. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah, if you want to be funny, you gotta like troll subversively where they don't know it's a troll right away, and then eventually
exactly.
They go, oh, fuck.
Like, they're gonna move you in 2 seconds. You're gonna be out of the room if you just put music.
You just said Beetlejuice, and sure enough, look who shows up. Beetlejuice.
Who is this?
You don't know Regal? Regal can't make a straight answer out of a million words, but he's a nice guy. He's trying.
Is he Asian?
No, he's an American and some type of non-European, I believe. Maybe Persian, maybe something else. But anyways, Regal wants to talk.
Is she a South American?
It's a he. I'm highly. Hello, Regal. Welcome.
This is very true, very Persian.
He sounds like South American.
Yeah, what ethnicity are you, Regal?
I'm Persian.
No, you're not.
Persian.
From El Galador.
Really? Well, I'm a descendant. I'm Iberian. That means I'm like a descendant of like Spanish kings, the kings of Aragon. And
what if they were Spanish slaves or something?
I try to go.
I'm not the way you guys.
I try to make it up for the positive. I'm optimistic about my lineage.
My family comes from the Leon ones, from Isabel de Castilla y Leon.
What philosophy books are you guys reading?
Everybody loves to think they're Don Quixote, but most people have never lived.
I've never read that.
Well, that's why you're not very chivalrous.
Yeah, maybe. But I never read Don Quixote. I'm aware. I'm familiar with the story, but I never.
There's a movie recently that came out. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of funny. It's about like a delusional Don Quixote who, exhibits chivalry. But we're about to read a book called The Key of the Mysteries. It's a very interesting book. It's by Eliphas Levi, who was a Spanish Kabbalist, a Jewish Spanish Kabbalist, but a Christian professing Kabbalist. So it's a very interesting book. It's a very expensive book. The people who put this book together are in a secret club in London called the Hellfire Club. Look it up. I had never heard of it, but they spent a lot of money publishing these books. They must, in my opinion, it's like pretty close to cost. I mean, this book was $100. It's wrapped in purple velvet and goat skin dyed purple. Goat skin. Kind of crazy. But it's a really interesting book. It's very smart. It debates God, like in the same way that people on Clubhouse do it, but in a much more, intelligent and rigorous manner. But we're about to read a little bit of it.
What is the name of the book again?
The Key of the Mysteries. It pretty much settles the God debate. It
And
really,
who wins?
God, of course, it goes into faith, science, and reason, and it uses words almost like in a physics manner, like velocity equals distance over time. So,
You're gonna think I'm retarded again, but what's the title again?
Key of the Mysteries by
Thank you.
by Levi, Levi or Levi. Eliphas Levi. He's a Kabbalist. This is all Kabbalah.
Eliphas Levy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I found it.
Yeah, very, very intelligent. It's crazy. People really are addicted to talking on this app. Like, I record it so much that people will start at 11 o'clock at night and they'll stop at 10 in the morning. That means they're not even sleeping. They're literally talking all night long. And then you won't.
Oh, I got to sleep.
No, not you. I mean, like, losers like Cynic Mikhail. Narjas.
Yeah, but you can hear in his voice that he is already going slower and he's got more issues to talk.
Well, Regal is one here who is a nice person, and part of my problem in life is I make fun of nice people. But, can you prove you're nice though? I mean, rapidly? Most people can't do that. Most people cannot put a smile on people's faces because they themselves aren't walking around with a smile. My friend is here.
My friends.
My friend,
Hello.
I don't have many friends, and I've grown to like your name, but I'm still not a fan of the trash bag. But my friend, if it was like my friend Love or my friend Intelligence, I'd be like, that's a much better name than garbage bag. But
Well, I was my friend Nature Hero for a while, or so. Wasn't I Nature Hero?
you were Nature Boy. But Issa,
I don't find this book.
look how much karma you have. Let me see.
Calling myself trash bag, it's not even, I know you think it's self-deprecating. It's not even really about me. It's about Clubhouse. Because when people speak to each other, they might as well say to each other, they might as well say, listen here, you fucking trash bag. Listen here, retard.
Listen here, you
moron.
fucking piece of
That's
trash.
how people talk to each other on this app. So I figured, just go ahead and fucking pile it on me.
Well, my point is, like,
Well, I'm gonna listen to this tonight. I just found a thing on Spotify that says Eliphas Levy. It's in Spanish, but it says The Stunning Life of the Magician and Occultist biography. I'm gonna listen to it so I can learn about this guy.
Oh yeah,
Sounds interesting.
you're gonna love it. It's very powerful. That's why I'm saying it's the opposite of trash. And so if you every day literally manifest yourself as a trash bag, it's not basically doing the NLP work that you want, that this app can do for you. In fact, it's like you're harming yourself every day, my friend. So as your friend, let's step it up. Let's bring it to the next level of NLP improvement and call yourself my friend Love or my friend Intelligence. Like Pepe here, this poor bastard has suffered years of traumatic headbanging by being a boxer. Have you ever boxed, my friend? Because I have, and it's not fucking easy on the head. You get clonked, you get hit in the stomach, you get hit in the head, it sucks. And then
I have not boxed. I have only done.
Yeah, I chipped some teeth. This fucking Schwartz at the gym sucker punched me. I was punching him in the arm. He's like, punch me harder. I was like, I don't really feel comfortable punching you as hard as I can. He's like, pussy! And he uppercutted me and like, I fucking chipped my teeth. I bit my teeth and I was like, what the fuck? He sucker punched me. And then I called the gym the next day. I was like, listen, that stupid Schwartz sucker punched me. And now I got teeth damage. Are you gonna pay for this shit?
Amazing. I got teeth like chipped in half. I got teeth knocked out. I got all kinds of shit on it.
Yeah.
May I just, before we move away too far from the key of the mysteries,
We're not moving far away.
scary. Can you guys give me your thoughts? I don't know if I should listen to this. It says, widely considered a classic of Western occultism. Eliphas Levi's The Key of the Mysteries represents the full culmination of his thought. In his translation by Aleister Crowley is spooky. Levy explores the hidden secrets of the Kabbalah, numerology, explorations of natural mysteries like fluidic phantoms, and his theory of will and its 22 distinct axioms, and an essential text for anyone interested in esoteric traditions. I mean, it sounds very interesting, but I'm not sure if I should get into this thing.
Yeah, well, it's intelligent, and if you compare intelligences across Clubhouse versus like a book, you would just be like, yeah, you're right. What am I, some kind of schmuck? You know, like, it's called a book, and it's just words running through your head, right?
I just bought it.
Well, I hope you got your ticket for Purim, because it's my favorite Jewish holiday, and I'm bringing the Tanya with me to this upcoming Jewish event that I'm going to, because every time I go, I talk to these young people that go to an Orthodox Jewish event, and I go, have you ever read the Tanya? And they go, what's that? I go, it's like the best Jewish book ever written. And then they go, really? Well, and then I go to Amazon, and I've had Jews on the spot buy the book off of my recommendation, because I'm like, what are you here for? And they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm depressed, I can't get a job, my life sucks. And I'm like, have you read the Tanya? And they go, what's that? I go, it's only like one of the most important Jewish spiritual books ever written. And they're like, no, I never. Anyways.
Wait, this is a Jew you're telling this to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's amazing how many Jews.
Why doesn't he?
Hey now! K-word is my last name and my name. Pepe, my initials are JZK, which is Jewish Zionist K-word, FYI.
Nice.
So be careful. Put some respect on my last name. Yeah, I tell people to buy this book, and I'm like, but you can't fault them for not knowing it, because literally your whole life, it's like you're lucky if a random book comes across your desk. You know, there's just so much media out there. It's impossible to be discriminating and know what's great. Pepe, what's the difference between discrimination and discernment, since you are like an expert discriminator?
Discernment, I think that's just using your what I would call your best judgment.
It's the same thing as discrimination, schmuck. You're discriminating, meaning that like you're discerning, you're choosing, the premium versus the poop. And I can give you a random sample of Clubhouse right now, and we can actually all agree on one thing, that there's a fallen society out there. A whole society unto itself called N-erism. And N-wordism or N-erism is the church of N-word. And basically, even in a black room today, I heard them playing a clip of some white preacher saying that the black church is all heresy and heretical. And I was like, that's kind of funny, but it is. It's like,
I know who you're talking about who said that. That's Joel Webben.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
He's a preacher.
I'm live streaming. Anyways, some of the black rooms, I will say though, you hear nuggets of like people possessed almost, people who reject a lot of the bullshit. And those are my favorites. And then also some of the oh my God, I couldn't believe what I heard the other night. This black girl was telling this other black girl, she's like, you a fucking murderer. You a fucking murdering bitch, and you are eating people. You are eating your victim. I was like, what? What? They're cannibals out here? There's murdering cannibals? Oh my God. I was like, this is the peak.
I didn't know black people celebrate Purim.
Black people?
Never mind, it's a joke.
That was your joke? Yeah, in terms of like...
They say that's when Jews eat people.
No, they eat the Hamantaschen, which is a cookie representing, Haman. Like, it's like a Jewish community.
I was literally on X, and they were saying that this space, this bitch came up on stage, and she was like, talking about how this is when they do like cannibalization or some stupid shit. I was like, all right, I gotta go.
I don't even believe, like, the George Bush, they claim that he was eating the baby entrails with the feces. There's just, see, that's humor. That's like basically us saying that kind of shit for shock value,
Yeah.
but there's no way George Bush is a cannibal. Like, I mean, it's got to be fake because, like, even if you're like a hardcore Satanist or something, it's a metaphor. Nobody's gonna eat poopy. Like, for God's sakes, you don't even want to eat the like bad part of a banana or like a rotten berry. So like, there's no way you're gonna
I'm a
eat.
Christian and I like rape, so I can understand that, like, why Bush would do it.
No, what? Because you think you have a rape fantasy.
Wait,
You
did
think?
you say you're a Christian and you like rape?
Yeah, that's what he
rape's
said.
fucking awesome. As long as I'm the one doing it.
Wait a minute.
That's what he
So,
does. He's got.
Let's work with. Wait a minute.
My friend, there's no questions here that will satisfy you. This
My
is what
friend.
Pepe does. Like, he
I'd
goes
like
into
to take
rooms.
a moment.
I've heard the Pepe routine before. This is just his stand-up routine. It's nothing new. So don't let him control you with his
Well, I'm not
statements. This is what he says. Well, we got a purpose in this room. I'm going to read a book. And Issa bought the book. I'm about to
I
read.
just bought the book.
What book?
The Key of what was the Mysteries, I think.
Key of the Mysteries. Now, I will say I've read many, many, many Aleister Crowley books. I have a huge Crowley collection. And what I'm saying is when I read this book, I start laughing because I can tell it's translated out of French, and I can tell that Crowley is like not rewriting it necessarily, but he's adding a lot to it. And you can hear the Crowley in this book, in this translation. So I wouldn't call it like, I would say it's an enhanced version because it's probably a lot less in the French, and he added a lot in the English. But Pepe, do you speak any French, or have you read any French?
For a while I was doing all right because I played like an online game with like a bunch of French people, and but that was years ago.
Well, anyways, I've read French books like in my fake French, and I can't translate it, but it's basically English letters, is what I'm saying. So
It has like I feel like French is one of those languages. Like a lot of the words, you can, if you know any Spanish, they share the same root, so you can kind of like to translate it that way too.
Well, the big words in Judaism, Latin, and it's spiritus, which is spirit.
Judeo.
How do you say it?
What, Judeo?
Oh, no. I'm saying that if the whole thing in magic, which is this book, which is I'm about to read, it deals with breath. Breath. And so in Latin, the word is spiritus. In Hebrew, it's ruach. Spirit, ruach, and then there's one more, which is the Indian or the Hindu or the Sanskrit or the Hindi, which is prana, which means life force. So guess what happens, Pepe, when you stop breathing? Guess what happens?
You die.
You die. So clearly the breath is the force that you need to stay alive. And the moment you stop breathing, well, that's the end of it. So keep breathing, my friend. Take the deepest breath of the day.
My Spanish question. So, and do you? I don't know if this is specific to Mexico or if it's all Spanish speakers, but like like the term like corría como un judío.
She's enveloped in the mysticism.
Oh, sorry. Did you speak to me?
Yeah.
It was to me. What was the question?
I don't know if this is a Mexican specific term or if it's in Spanish, but like the term like corría como un judío.
No, I don't know that. But I mean, I gotta understand what it is. Like he would run like a Jew.
Yeah. I think it comes from like the Crusades or excuse me, the Inquisition.
Pepe, I don't know. I don't know if you're ever gonna get this chance in your life, but I've been to I've been to Israel twice, and every time I go, it's like a learning experience. And if you ever if you can go to Israel, my friend, or not my friend, but Pepe, uh, you should go, because if you do, the whole thing is it's like the Disneyland of religion, and so it's just a great experience, and I think you'll really have a nice time. The food is amazing, the weather is great. It's probably the best beach in the world, which is Tel Aviv. Maybe not the best beach in the world, but it's fucking a great beach because it gets the sunset. It faces the west. Many beaches face the east, so you don't get the sunset on the beach. And so that makes it a really mystical sunset. And everybody jogs and, is outside at sunset. So it's like the energy at Tel Aviv Beach every night is like incredible.
I was gonna say it'd be pretty cool to like hide behind the bushes and then leap out and wrestle one of those women running at night, but they have cameras everywhere there, so it's probably not gonna work.
Yeah, it is an incredible. They have workout stations.
You saying you'd like to rape a Jew?
What?
I disavow.
That's what he said, my friend. You heard it. Like, I've heard Pepe say that he wants to kill hitchhikers, kill them in a van. I've heard Pepe say a lot of homicidal, really sick, twisted shit on this app. He's taking his performative art to the next level. But again, it's not reading a book. And I would listen, none of you, Issa, my friend Pepe, anybody on this app, you can prove that you're not a fool and that you're not stupid instantaneously. You know how? By picking up a smart book and confirming that you can read. If you can read to me something smart, that's like you wrote it. Because now is all there is, my friends. There's no future, there's no past. There's only this thing called the eternal now, which is all important. That's the whole purpose of life, is the moment that you're in, that is the purpose of your life. So if this is how Pepe does his performative art, well, I've heard this show before, and I certainly wouldn't buy a second ticket. I've been to, amazing shows in Hollywood, on the Sunset Strip, at the Comedy Store. I've seen a lot of famous comedians do their routines. And, never buy a ticket for the same guy twice, because it's the same fucking show. The second time around, I was like, fuck. Thank God I'm here with this hot, beautiful blonde from, London. Otherwise, what a waste of money this would have been.
Rape!
Fucking Tossa. That's what she said to me. Anyways, this is Eliphas Levi. I want to thank you for coming to my morning meditation. This is also a hypnosis, not just a meditation. So take the deepest breath of the day. This is page 124. It is certain that in diluting beyond measure and coagulating suddenly the plastic medium of a subject, it is possible to lose the body from the soul. It is sometimes sufficient to arouse a violent anger or an overmastering fear in anyone, to kill him suddenly. Pepe, this book is right up your alley. The habitual use of magnetism usually puts the subject who abandons himself to it at the mercy of the magnetizer. When communication is well established, and the magnetizer can produce at will slumber, insensibility, catalepsy, and so on, it will only require a little further effort to bring on death. By the way, Pepe, if you Google John Kitover, because of the algorithm, you show up right away. Have you ever seen it? It's a video of you saying, "That fucking bitch." We are about to repeat it because it may be true. Certain persons who doubted both religion and magnetism, of that incredulous class which is ready for all superstitions and all fanaticisms, had persuaded a poor girl to submit to their experiments for a fee. This girl was of an impressionable and nervous nature, fatigued moreover by the excesses of a life which had been more than irregular, while she was already disgusted with existence. They put her to sleep, bade her see she weeps and struggles. They speak to her of God, she trembles in every limb. No, said she, no, he frightens me. I will not look at him. Look at him. I wish it. She opens her eyes. What up, Arizona? She opens her eyes, her pupils expand. She is terrifying. What do you see? I should not know how to say it. Oh, for pity's sake, awaken me! Your mother is my father. You know what the most confusing day is in the ghetto? Father's Day. Wow, Arizona just said, suck my cock, bitch. Thanks, Arizona. As soon as we can find you, I'm sure we'll deport you. No point in keeping you here any longer. Can't wait to get you out of the country. Oh, man, they got a big prison facility in Florida waiting for you. It's called Alligator Island. No, look and say what you see. I see a black night in which the whirl sparks of every color around two great ever-rolling eyes. From these eyes leap rays whose spiral whirls fill space. Oh, it hurts me. Wake me. No, look. Where do you wish me to look now? Look into paradise. No, I cannot climb there. The great night pushes me back. I always fall back. Very well then, look into hell. Here the sleep-waker became convulsively agitated. No, no, she cried, sobbing, I will not. I shall be giddy, I should fall. Oh, hold me back, hold me back. No, descend. Where do you want me to descend? Into hell, but it is horrible. No, no, I will not go there. Go there. Mercy! Go there. It is my will. The features of the sleep-waker become terrible to behold. Her hair stands on end, her wide-opened eyes show only the white. Her breast heaves, and a sort of death rattle escapes from her throat. Go there. It is my will, repeats the magnetizer. I am there, says the unhappy girl between her teeth, falling back exhausted. Then she no longer answers. Her head hangs heavy on her shoulder. Her arms fall idly by her side. They approach her. They touch her. They try to waken her, but it is too late. The crime was accomplished. The woman was dead. My friend, I wanted to tell Issa that, that house that I have, that I had a big room on Iran with Norm. I live streamed it. I think it was like 3 hours long. Decent sized room, and I clipped a lot of it. But I think the room only took off because of Issa's, PTR, which she has conditioned people with. That's the one thing is, well, my friend, is like, if you do spend time here, you're actually investing into conditioning people. And so your profile matters, That's why I say get rid of the trash bag and put love in there. And then you'll become love. Maybe you're afraid of love. Maybe you're running away from intelligence. And, there's no better way to quickly change your non-playable character than to just update your profile on my recommendation, Maybe you're a young boy that's never grown up. Maybe you're irascible. Maybe you're like a little kid, my friend, and you don't want to grow up. You want to be a clown house kid, jumping from room to room, listening to every N-word thing. You know, I have another room open called the motherfucking book club where we books and shit. And I'm going to jump out of that. That's my strength profile. And we're going to give you a quick random sample of what I would call fallen society.
Pineal glands release DMT and all that other stuff.
Yeah, look up the limbic system, RJ.
See? Motherfucking limbic! That's a Sora prompt right there. John discovers his limbic system.
The hypothalamus.
Oh shit, hypothalamus!
So you know how you got like the synapses gap? I don't want
Oh shit!
I could go there and talk. I don't want to talk in science terms and throw off
the limbic system.
You have like a synaptic
and the synaptic gaps.
Neurotransmitters that neurotransmitters like little beep beep beep.
See, my friend, how is this stupid? These people are motherfucking geniuses.
So it's like
they was kings. They know the words. Synaptic gaps and shit. They describing them synaptic gaps.
So it's like an in between there is space. It's just nothing but space.
Space.
So the signals have to go from one to the other, and in order so the hypothalamus it controls those signals that you're getting, like the tell you
hypothalamus.
Like, you walk in the room and you feel that shit. That's your hypothalamus, like picking up those signals that is being transmitted to your body from the universe.
Ooh, girl, wake it up, grand rising. Oh, pituitary gland, pineal gland, hypothalamus, and limbic systems. Ooh, I already feel better, baby.
For the atomic nervous system.
Atomic nervous system. I'm an atomic bomb. Boom.
Including body temperature, thirst.
I'm an atomic nuclear reactor.
Sex drive, and
I got ejaculate.
Responses.
Those the two glands. Can you read the first one again? What's the first one called?
Go on a little bit further, sis, because it says, whoa, the endocrine.
Go ahead, you got it.
Okay, the endocrine system. It acts as the master regulator, and it's producing, releasing, and hormones that control the pituitary gland, which in turn directs the function of other glands, like the thyroid and adrenal glands. So the pituitary gland, which is your third eye, it directs all the functions to all the other glands. But the homeostasis, the hypothalamus controls the homeostasis, like it controls all the signals that's getting into your body. And then the third eye is what helps, control it. So it's like sending, let me say it in layman terms. So the hypothalamus is like the thing that controls your body. Like the machine that gives your body, like say if you're having a heart attack, you get that machine, pow. So the signals that's going through that controls that's like your hypothalamus. And then once it connects to your central nervous system, your pituitary gland basically tells all the other glands what to do.
It's all a part of the command center, and this is also perspective. Because I first learned this about on my journey of climbing up the ladder. You take the 33 bones, so you go from the coccyx to, is it the atlas or I think it's the atlas.
That's the atlas.
The atlas bone, the top bone. So you get to the medulla oblongata, which that is above it, and then through there is where you connect to the hypothalamus. This is why our brain is split. We have two brains that operates as one, which we say two different hemispheres. Just like there's two hemispheres on the earth, it's something that is two things that is acting as one. That's how I always look at it. So even in the aspect of the third eye, this is what I'm saying. It's a three-part thing. When we hear, that's why I'm like, if they know just about the pineal gland, then they're fully aware. But most people don't speak about the pituitary and the hypothalamus, because those all three have to respond and correspond and operate with one another to have us being properly functioning.
So, what did the Egyptians do with the brain when they were doing the sarcophagus?
See, I can't remember that right now.
Oh, they went up their nose and pulled out the brain, no?
They took it all out because you don't need it on the other side.
Oh, okay. I get that. But that's where when I guess before the conscious community, before it was compromised, we were learning all these different things, and the fact that our the calcification is only the pineal, but if all of the other glands are calcified, then we'll have this issue, and then we still have that battle in our body, which is within the mind, between the left and the right. That's why I've always talked about before being able to sometimes utilize your offhand, because it's also exercising the other side of your brain. Because with one side of your brain dominates the other, it even comes down to your eyesight. I learned that having astigmatism, it can switch. So sometimes it's like you got to operate both sides of your body, because it's in the aspect of operating both sides of your brain. Because when you operate both sides of your brain, it's like you are more in control, because a lot of the functions that we do, we're not even aware of the functions unless you are aware of the movements in your body. So there's so many things that you can do with your offhand and do with your dominant hand. And it's like when you start to pay more attention, damn, I can't fold, or I prefer to smoke. Like one random thing, I prefer to smoke my weed in my left hand. I haven't smoked, because that's why I don't know why. It's I don't know. The left side of my body prefers to hold the J.
And that's why they're poisoning the water. That's why when there was all this stuff going on, and when they had like the trains were like crashing and dumping all that oil into the water. I know this is not off track. I'm telling you, you'll catch on. So the water, the fluoride in the water decalcified, and like it makes your pineal gland real hard. That's what Hitler was using for his soldiers. It causes us to, it dumbs us down, and it causes us not. It interrupts our fight or flight system, causing us to become like docile, like make us not stand up for yourself and stuff like that. That's how they can control their soldiers by giving them fluoride. So, they sneak it into so many things. When you go to the dentist, that's why you always want to tell them, like, don't put no fluoride. It's in your toothpaste too. That's why you're supposed to use like no fluoride-free toothpaste, and also regulate it through breathing. Breathing and yoga and exercise, because when you're exercising, you're generating that energy you're actually healing yourself every day by moving around. You want to move around as much as possible. That's why they got us on these computers and in the house more, because there's so many things that they're using to stop us. They really can't. There's no weapon formed to get you will prosper. But the sole of your shoes is stopping you from getting what you're supposed to get from the universe. So they're trying all of these things to try to control it, and it'll never work. They'll never be able to. It'll never work. So
your sole of your shoes is stopping you from getting what you want in the universe.
Like there's energy. There's like an energy pool that comes up from the ground, and rubber is a substance that can like stop energy able to get through the sole of your feet. Yes.
So, but my mother always told me belief kills and belief cures, right? So it depends on how you believe. So does the rubber stop the energy? Yes. But can you just take off your shoes? Yes. It's like...
Yeah, that's why I said there's no weapon that could be formed against you that'll prosper. That's why it's important to go outside and put your feet in the grass and stuff like that. So there's always a way around it, absolutely.
Now, can I ask you guys a quick question? Do you guys believe that was the purpose of COVID, to disrupt the Christ conscious that we was actually supposed to? Because a lot of people don't know this. During COVID, we was vibrating. Well, before COVID, we was actually vibrating at a intense rate, and they don't talk about that. I don't know if anybody knows that. That was something that was actually going on, and I just find it funny. All of a sudden, that's when COVID came into play.
Hey, I'm about to share something with can you read this when you get a chance to what I'm talking about. It speaks about because remember they had that 6 feet apart thing.
Bro, I brought this up in 2020.
Yes, sir. Talk about. Yeah, so I dropped that in the chat that speaks about the electromagnetic field that is in our heart and what our heart does. Yeah, I know we were talking about this, Joe. But also, we were talking about the brain. The brain also has its own electromagnetic field. So if you remember we was talking about that 6 feet apart, separating ourselves so we won't be close. And our electromagnetic, it's like they were sending us a signal or something, and we couldn't be close to each other because it kind of possibly affect the download. And I know it sounds so cliche, we be talking about downloads, but we definitely getting downloads from the universe. Also, in shout out to Pluribus. I know everyone's not a fan, but made my concept. It made it more understandable when they're sending us the aspect of influence, which goes into influenza, which speaks about the positioning of the stars. Just like we're going to have a big star event on the 28th of February, it affects us, and it could bring in a disease, a virus, so on and so forth. So the reason why I brought up the whole heart, and y'all even talking about COVID, we've been checking about the heart, but it's that electromagnetic field in our brain, which is the crown. If you affect the crown, which is like it could be like the most important part of the computer, even a little bit equivalent to the stomach. But if you affect the brain, you can affect the heart and you can affect the stomach.
Yeah, that nigga on point, real well. And damn, I don't know about the 6 feet part. I don't know about all that.
You don't remember
that 6 feet? The 6 feet was a facial recognition that they were doing back then also.
Yeah, it was facial recognitions and stuff like that. But I do understand what you're saying, Roel, and how it came out and how it was meant. Because I've been like, that was my whole point of the God gene. Me doing research on that, because once I found out about that, I'm like, damn, so we got a God gene and they trying to suppress it with these goddamn vaccines and try to alter our DNA with graphene oxide and all this other shit that's in the vaccine. And it did. It literally altered people's DNA. It made them the blood was no longer the same after they got the vaccine. It's just the same way I was talking about yesterday with the experiment, the Tuskegee shit. The blood was no longer the same. That shit got fucked up, just like the COVID vaccine. It fucked up their blood because they know that our blood is actually ancient, and we can actually use our blood to activate the pineal gland, to activate the Christ consciousness.
Well, they need that God gene because that God gene is so shit. It has the ability to create a whole new universe. Obviously, CERN, they want to create a whole new universe. They want to try to create Bang Theory all over, which there was never a Big Bang Theory. That's what they want to create.
Hey, do y'all know what the God gene is called so I can look it up? Or is it something y'all just like?
The X gene, the God gene.
Okay, there's two of them. There's the XXX. -XX is one, and then the second one is AAA, triple O.
Yeah, I think the X gene is more simplified for that, but yeah, she on point.
I was going to say one is more pure, one is the God gene, and one is, I don't know.
I had seen
I thought it was Shakina. What happened with that?
I seen the Pentagon talking about they was trying to suppress it. Did y'all see that?
Shakina, huh? You don't know about Shakina? Oh, all right, yeah. I thought you was on it.
My bad.
Hey, man.
I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
It was the Pentagon talking about how they can, basically get rid of the God gene. Y'all ain't see that video?
Nah, so if y'all can put the genes in the chat, because I'm trying to look these up.
If y'all also look up CERN, if y'all get a chance, look up the company called CERN. It's siphoned through all of the stuff.
We never hear CERN. I never hear.
There's a lot of people that did though. There is something. You didn't because you ain't tapped in, boy.
Ain't nobody heard of that.
Heard of nothing.
He's trolling. We all know about CERN. He's trolling. Okay.
For the record,
I know. That's why.
Real quick, I'm
right back.
For the record, Shakina is actually, if memory serves me correct from my days in the church and doing theology thesis and all of that, Shekinah stands for or represents the Spirit of God amongst us. So he covers us in his Shekinah.
Talk that shit. Talk it though.
Shekinah, it's a form of glory. Well, some people say Shekinah, some people say Shekinah. But yeah,
right.
Shekinah, Shekinah, Has Incorporated. Da-da-da-da-da. We're gonna Shekinah.
All right, hold on.
Hold on, I got these numbers for y'all real quick.
Who said that?
Excuse me, on the left over here.
Hold on, let me go in the chat. All right, it's in the chat.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics. And this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the BMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalists, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the BMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach. What you see here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from going on a bomb fest and going into a market, blowing up the market. So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the BMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, will eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of BMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of BMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the BMAT2 gene, this individual self-described as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
Are you suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether to put them?
And I'm not gonna.
People, I go, I want you to be honest. Do you think I'm doing anything wrong here? And I get very emphatic.
It's so gonna help, and I just like, what are we doing? Like, why do we? Like, we don't need to help. We need to actually now try to figure out like Potola, and I'm trying to get in with her camp, so I can at least start volunteering or doing whatever I could do from the lower 48.
Yeah, but I listen to.
Art and Brandy.
And Brent, you want to put a trademark, a copyright on there too?
I like those tattoos that like have the I guess when you like scan it or something.
Okay, this is the John Kitover Book Club. Key of the Mysteries.
They're able to, you know, be in every, you know, they're, I mean, it's pretty impressive.
One thing is the Bible emphasizes about these people that you're talking about being impossible, right?
Was that Nagu talking about the Jews? Was that you?
That is. If you go back to Genesis chapter 2.
Look at my PTR. The top people in this PTR, those are the Jews from before the mudslide and the reset. Those are the actual Jews. And I'm talking about the ones that usurped the true, you know, the identity of the true Jewish people. But these were the ones known as the Jews in the past.
Right, but the point I'm trying to make is if you go back to what he was speaking about, and you go back to the Bible in Genesis chapter 2, verse 10, when they tell you about the 4 rivers, these are places that are along the ancient Nile. You're not about to tell me that no Europeans was in no domination at any point over the ancient Nile in BC times. Like, make it make sense. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, we actually have to do this. And you sit back and think about it. Noah had 3 children, and one was African. Think about, hey, Brother Melton, I want you to think about this, brother. He had 3 children.
No Africa.
And one was African. Now, if you sit back and think about this theory, right? If I had a child with one woman, right? Well, if I say I had multiple children with one woman, how many races do you come out with? But again, it's just weird. It's weird to know.
Everybody down, House members, you all want to come up and talk? Nathan, Reagan, anybody? Come on up. Let's all talk.
What you just said, lady, because
Exactly.
I just told you who I am.
Well, that's the same thing.
No, it's
honey, you know what they say. When you gotta say you something, that means you're trying to convince somebody else what you are.
Well, no, it was a question of the room. So I answered the question.
Grand rising to the room.
Insight into the mind of the Jew.
You know, Mountain.
Let Kaiser's a mod. Let Kaiser go real quick, buddy, and then go ahead, buddy.
Mountain.
They have very good yeshivas in Lakewood. They're famous for the
I heard that they're building
one
of the biggest ones, I guess, in the United States. They're building one out here.
Mountain.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You always have some insight.
I study with somebody from Lakewood. There's some people from Lakewood on this app, in fact. They're considered some of the best scholars in Judaism.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they're very good.
They're mountains of Torah. Mountains of Torah. See, if anybody wants to make anti-Jewish remarks, you're a fool. Like philosophy, because Jews are the greatest philosophers and storytellers and myth makers, you know, that have ever lived. And obviously, El Normo is not at Mount Sinai receiving the 10 Commandments, being liberated from Egypt right now in 2026. That's obvious. The now is all important. And this app proves that blacks are racist, that whites are racist, that browns are racist, that yellows, purples, blues, they're all racist. The truth of the earth is that you are the secret you are debating. So go within, and within you will find the truth of the earth. I am complete.
You see that? How am I racist because we called out a lie in history? That makes me racist? I didn't say that Jewish people need to be killed. I didn't say that these are evil people. We're talking about facts of history, and somehow you're going to throw in the word racism?
Yes.
Like, come on, bro. Like, racism?
Yes, sir.
If I challenge a historical fact, that tells me that I'm being racist?
No, but definitely have a basis.
Definitely have a basis. You missed that. Only thing I said was what you said was disgusting. I think that's the only racist.
Well, I just want to say, you're asking me a question. I'll respond to you. The point is that the more you speak, the more you think, and the more you speak, the further from the truth you're going to get. Silence is the secret. Hello?
I just want to know about the racist part.
So
I get that. I can be dumb. I can be uneducated. I can be wrong.
I don't recommend it.
About that. I asked him about what he said. Hold on. I asked him about that. Like, you acting like a child, bro. You ain't speaking the whole room.
No, you're disgusting, sir.
I got you. That's fine. I can be
That's
disgusting.
fine. I understand you are.
We're having uncomfortable conversations. That's okay. This is a room about some free speech. It might be uncomfortable. It's all right.
It's all right. You'll get over it.
Yeah, so Mountain, did you hear me say anything that was racist since they down? Okay, I just want to make
Almost everything out of your mouth is racist.
Okay. Stating the facts of history makes me racist.
You don't know what.
That's why y'all don't like history. I know what it is.
Hello?
You've never read a book in your life.
That's why they stole our history. So now,
How do you steal history, sir?
Let me ask you a question.
How do you steal
I don't
history?
feel offended.
Is Abraham your ascendant?
Hello?
I don't know.
How do you steal history, sir?
Hold on, I'm asking you a question. Is Abraham your
You a question. You spoke
I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you right now.
How do you steal? What do you mean you're about to show? How do you steal history? Tell us.
I'm about to tell you. Right now.
Not you're about to tell us.
Come on, L, work with him, buddy. Work with him.
How do you?
I'm about to show him. That's why I asked you a question.
L, please stop it. Let him go.
I asked him a question. He can't answer.
Go ahead.
I shall command the
Let's make this third eye
I'm trying to actually level with it. So you asked the question, right?
Yes. Now you answer. Go ahead.
Okay, what I'm trying to show you is how it happened. So what I'm asking
I'm ready.
What I'm asking you to show my point.
We'll listen to you. You explain.
Okay, well, I'll just make the point then. So, for example, people say that Abraham is, a Jewish descendant. Now, if we think about it,
he's the first Jew.
I got you. If you told me you didn't want to speak and answer my question, then let me finish, bro.
Go ahead. This will be painless now. Go ahead, man.
Okay. So, Abraham was a Chaldean. And we know that Chaldeans actually came from the Babylonian order, and those people came from Africa. When they actually did the actual writings on the Sumerian Babylonian culture of people, they came out to the word that described them as the word Sagiga, which means the black-headed people. Now, if you go back to Joshua in the 24th chapter in the Bible, in the 14th verse, it clearly states that these people were in Egypt. Now, if you go back to Abraham's time from the Bible, from what we know of most Bible scholars, give you somewhere around 21 to 2200.
Okay, got 60 seconds. Land your plane.
You cannot show me no European activity in Egypt beyond that time, because in Joshua in the 24th chapter, it doesn't say that Abraham was there. It says Abraham's father, Terah, was there, Abraham's grandfather, Nahor, and their descendants, which came before Europeans. So, no, they weren't. No, they weren't. Especially not in 2000. Man, stop playing. I'm going on mute.
Perfect. You finally proven your point. Stay on mute, sir. Stay on mute. Stay on mute. You said you're going on mute. Stay on mute. Stay on mute. And when you stay on mute and you no longer talk, that's when the truth finally comes out. See, the truth of the earth is silence. It's not your opinion. And many people on this app, especially in the Talking Apes League, can't determine what the difference is between facts and opinions. The truth is, everything you hear is an opinion, because that's what life is. It's opinion. But the truth is that you're gonna die, and that you were born, and that transformation is the real thing that's happening here, which is change, or entropy, you might call it. Entropy has a negative connotation of dissolution. But the truth is, this app is not for fools, and it's not for stupid people. It's for people looking to learn, looking to discover what could be real for them. And the truth is, it's mostly just opinion, but it is a neurolinguistic program. It's a game that we're playing, and unfortunately, the more you see, you have to mute the truth because it hurts your fragile ego. See, the green bean fascists that run this app.
Buddy, that was not me. Who did that?
I can't stop his voice.
Ducky, God. All right.
working too, bro.
I thought this was a free speech room, guys.
That was not me. That was not me.
He literally said nothing in the last 5 minutes. You're literally saying nothing right now. You're not saying anything at all. You're not saying
So look,
wisdom.
So let me show y'all something real quick. Hey Mountain, are you there?
Yeah, dude. What's up?
You see my PTR?
Yeah.
I want to show you what the kings and queens of Egypt look like beyond 1500 BC. Do they look like these are European people to you?
That doesn't look like a European.
No, they're Middle Eastern. And by the way,
Abraham is from. They damn sure ain't European.
Abraham is from.
When we get into the word Middle Eastern, we get into the word Middle Eastern. Do you see this movie? Hold on.
Abraham is from. Hang on a second. Hang on. Abraham is from Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is Iraq. Iraq is not in Africa. Israel is not in Africa. No, they're not. Take a look right now. Take out your magic phone and go look at what people from Iraq look like. For example, hang on. Mesopotamia is Iraq. Iraq is not Africa. Those people are not black. If you doubt me, look at them right now. The famous Iraq person was Saddam Hussein, for example. Not a black man. Iraq is next to Iran. The people of Iran are not black. These countries are in Asia. They are Asiatic people. Israel.
That person doesn't look black either, though. Yeah, I was going to say in that picture.
What's that?
I read that picture. That
I know. I'm trying to get to it. El Novo is over here trying to interrupt
the concept of blackness did not exist in the ancient world. The concept of blackness is a new concept. Actually, it was invented in the 60s. There were no so-called black folks in those days. There are people from African, and they look like America's African-American people because they were brought here in chains as servants. Most of the black people of America are from Western Africa. We know where they're from.
Can I finish my point now? You said a lot of stuff.
I'm almost done. What's that? I'm almost done. I'll land my plane. They came in chains. They came from West Africa. They are African folks in America. The folks of the Middle East, the folks of Israel, Egypt, the folks of because Egypt is not black, and Mesopotamia is Iraq, and Iraq is not black. And you
we heard you say it already, bro. Can I finish my thought now?
They're not black in Egypt.
I got you. We heard you, bro. You're going on a little mini rant.
And we heard you, and you're disgusting and ignorant.
I got you. That's fine. I appreciate you. I
appreciate you even more.
I get it.
Norm, please, for God's sakes, dude.
It's like, geez, bro, I thought he was going to end at some point, bro. All right, so listen. So the reason why I bring this up, right? Now it said in the Bible that Abraham also had a Egyptian son. Remember, there was Isaac.
Ishmael?
Yeah, Ishmael and Isaac. I like my mind is somewhere else for a second. My bad. Thank you, brother.
I got this philosophy house. My friend.
I just had an interesting experience that I know you don't really like to hear personal anecdotes, but I just had an interesting experience that I would love to tell somebody about. Do you want to hear about it? You can say no.
I'm drinking water. What was that? I couldn't hear you. Just go ahead and fucking say it! Say it!
I wasn't listening.
Just fucking say it!
Well, I just called. I'm having an issue with my health care, and I have to deal with all this bullshit with the health care coverage. I got added to this health care. I lost my other health care. I had to get the health care back. And then I just had an interesting time where I called up the healthcare company here in Maine, and the representative was an African. And I could tell right away that she was very African, and I hated her right away. And I also felt like she was very combative. And she said, I cannot help you unless you tell me the date you were added to main care. What was the date you were added to main care? I said, I don't know. Sometime in January. She said, well, you need to call them, and then they called me back and they tell me the date. What, you need to give me the date. And then I got frustrated with her, and I hung up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called back the same number, and I got a different representative. And the representative was an American. And his name was Lewis, and he was very nice, and he helped me right away. And that's the end of my story. He didn't ask, and I said, Lewis, do you need to know the date that I was added to main care? And he said it was probably January 1st. And I was like, yeah, that sounds right. And he was like, yeah, I'll just put that. So that's my story.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
How hard is it to just put that? The Africans are of a different.
Maybe you should like change the way you. Maybe you should pretend to be an African. You know, like if you can do a good voice, like pretend. Yeah, I mean that could be the whole thing. Is well, maybe just pretend to be a minority from now on, and your life will go smoother. Like just, can you do a Hispanic accent, mi amigo?
Excuse me, sir. I have refried beans.
Because I heard you can convert. You can convert to Mexican. It's a former empire, so you can technically convert to Mexicanism.
That sounds good.
Sí, señor. Hola, mi amigo. Sir, do you speak English? No, señorita. Solo español aquí. Sir, I'm going to have to transfer this call to someone who speaks Spanish. Muchas gracias. Okay, this is the next page. This is for YouTube. This is a 60-second clip for YouTube. Take the deepest breath of the day. It was to the public incredulity in the matter of magnetism that the authors of this sacrilegious experiment owed their own immunity from prosecution. The authorities held an inquest, and death was attributed to the rupture of an aneurysm. The body, anyhow, bore no trace of violence. They had it buried, and there was an end of the matter. Here is another anecdote, which we heard from a traveling companion called my friend. Two friends were staying in the same inn and sharing the same room. One of them had a habit of talking in his sleep, and at that time would answer the questions which his comrade put to him. One night he suddenly uttered stifled cries. His companion woke up and asked him what was the matter. But don't you see, said the sleeper, don't you see that the enormous stone, it is becoming loose from the mountain. It is falling on me. It is going to crush me. Oh, well, get out of its way. Impossible. My feet are caught in brambles that cling ever closer. Ah! Help! Help! There is the great stone coming right upon me. Well, there it is, said the other, laughing, throwing the pillow at his head in order to wake him. A terrible cry, suddenly strangled in his throat, a convulsion, a sigh, and nothing more. The practical joker gets up, pulls his comrade's arm, calls him in his turn. He becomes frightened. He cries out, people come with lights. The unfortunate sleep-waker was dead. Okay, this is the second part. This is page 127, The Key of the Mysteries, Chapter 3, Mysteries of Hallucinations and the Evocation of Spirits. An hallucination is an illusion produced by an irregular movement of the astral light. It is, as we said previously, the admixture of the phenomena of sleep with those waking. Our plastic medium breathes in and out the astral light, the vital soul of the earth, as our body breathes in and out the terrestrial atmosphere. Now, just as in certain places the air is impure and not fit for breathing, in the same way, certain unusual circumstances may make the astral light unwholesome and not assimilable. The air of some places may be too bracing for some people and suit others perfectly. It is exactly the same with the magnetic light. The plastic medium is like a metallic statue, always in the state of fusion. If the mold is defective, it becomes deformed. If the mold breaks, it runs out. The mold of the plastic medium is balanced and polarized vital force. Our body, by means of the nervous system, attracts and retains this fugitive form of light, but local fatigue or partial overexcitement of the apparatus may occasion fluidic deformities. These deformities partially falsify the mirror of the imagination, and thus occasion habitual hallucinations to the static type of visionary. The plastic medium, made in the image and likeness of our body, of which it figures every organ in light, has a sight, touch, hearing, smell, and taste which are proper to itself. It may, when it is overexcited, communicate them by vibrations to the nervous apparatus in such a manner that the hallucination is complete. You see, that customer service agent you were on the phone with was just a hallucination of the astral light from Kenya, or from Tanzania, or from Timbuktu, or from Liberia, or from Western, Nigeria. Lordy, lordy, lordy.
Did I tell you about when I was pulling out from the car? My car was parked on the curb, and I was going to pull out to my left to start driving on the road. It was nighttime. It was raining, and there was this woman who was walking in the road, and I almost hit her with my car, African woman. And I said, "Oh, I almost hit you with my car." And she said, "Isn't that what you have those mirrors on your car for?"
And is also involved, in a cult here. And a super nice woman.
And her were messaging on Telegram and talking to each other. So she tried to set up Yael, and knowing that Yael would tell people.
This is World Affairs Forum.
And then the problem was she hurt an innocent person that's not on Clubhouse, and now that person is trying to sue her because she's been receiving threats.
And now you know her real name.
Yeah.
So
like I said, Buttercup is smart. I mean, she's not. She knows how to play with people. Yeah. That's interesting. Every room he comes in, I like Buttercup. I love her. I would make her feet like who the fuck does that? First of all, but he's all upset. But the whole thing is, you wouldn't know her info if she didn't talk about her. She didn't say the things she said about Heva. She said her name, Judy. She said her name's Heva. She said she's a doctor. She said she doxed herself. She said her own college and university, actually. Like Buttercup actually said that. That's how the people found out who she actually was. So, is it doxing if you're telling people? Is it? Oh, no. I don't know. I mean, I guess not. Let the courts decide. Well, I don't. There's no laws against it in Canada, but. Yeah, there isn't. In the U.S., I mean, U.S. there is, but you know, they're not straightforward. Well, I would be more concerned about the girl who she pretended to be, which caused, like, character assassination, like, harm towards her character, like that girl. I would be more concerned about what she did to that girl while trying to defend herself. Yeah, that girl would have a case, actually. Absolutely. Yeah,
No, but the thing is, baby, nobody would have known her fake account until Yael shared it with you, and you exposed it. The previous account. We didn't know any of this, right? Yael gave it to you because you're very close to Yael, apparently.
Well, I mean, that's why when I brought up her, her last name, I didn't bring it up the other day, remember? I was like, oh, you've been, everybody knows what your name is. And she was kind of stammering. She's like, no, let's discuss that later.
Like, hear me out now. No, hear me out. I'm not saying that it's, like, you find all the time, 100%. I'm just saying, and like these prestigious black people that you look up through history, you see a lot of them mixed people, bro. It's like that light skin shit, they got them into like doors what black people couldn't get into. I tell you this, black people, like people that look like me, not you, Forbes, because you light skin. People that look like me. People that look like Mr. Finley.
But then you agree with Red Rum's point that it is about how you look.
No. I'm trying to say the shared experience. Yeah, it's part of it. Like
shared living experience.
Is it an important part or an unimportant part? Because it
is an important part. I think
that's the whole thing. Is people always refer back to lived experience, and you ain't got that shared living experience, motherfucker. So you in the out group, bitch. Hello. You don't know our struggle because you ain't had that lived experience.
So what were your opinions on the State of the Union address last night?
Well, I live streamed myself listening to it, and then I wore my Meta glasses and I filmed myself filming myself listening to it. So you can actually watch my live feedback because there was a lot in there.
Rashid Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, that was quite the show, wasn't it? Like how most of the Democrats, I think it was all the Democrats, they support illegal immigrants rather than Americans.
Oh, you missed my anecdote. I just told an anecdote about an illegal immigrant who's helping me, not helping me, helping, not helping.
Sir, you're going to have to call back, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're going to have to call me back.
You know what? I don't want to help this motherfucker. I ain't going to do it. You're going to have to call back.
I'm on my break.
Next. We don't need all that extra. You know, for some reason I thought today was Sunday. But There's a guy who announced that he's going to run for mayor of Chicago. And Sunday he's giving his like introduction speech at the Irish Center over here where I live. And I'm going to file to run for mayor, I think, next week. But I don't know how people are announcing when the city of Chicago isn't even taking the notice of candidacy forms yet. But it's possible they take it and then you just announce. But
how can you hijack people's attention? You know, we live in this attention economy. How can you send your branding? You know, that's
run for politics. It's kind of it's a little dangerous to run for politics, like. But yeah, that super normal thing you sent me was really cool. What was it? Super what? I sent it to everybody. I texted everybody that shit because technically this app is just hentai porn. It's like
super normal stimulus.
Yeah, super normal. So this app is just technically super normal stimulus or super stimulus is what it is. Like Pepe is super stimulus. I am super stimulus. My friend is super stimulus, and you know Zen is super stimulus.
I get a huge dopamine hit from my friend. You know, like he.
Wow, what a compliment! That is that's very nice of you to say. That's a good compliment in the modern world, I think. You give me dopamine. I get a dopamine hit. I get a dopamine hit for both of you guys.
Appreciate it, man. No, like I know that you and John, like you've been on this app for a while now, and you guys are reasonably normal. You know, not super normal. But...
I mean, he's insane. I have a lot of problems too, but reasonable.
Oh, come on, John is not insane. He's sane compared to the insane standards of the world that we live in.
No, you guys just see. I have super. What was the term again? You guys are just looking at me through the
normal stimulus.
Yeah, you guys are just judging me by my super stimulus. But that's my whole point is I've been trying to do super stimulus. The fact that right now as you're conversing with me and 15 cell phones are pointed at my face, that is the super stimulus. And so when you say I'm insane, guess what? Guess what? Guess what's lurking below that iceberg? Uh-oh! Projection alert! Let me hit my projection bell.
Keegan. I'm in the philosophy house. Can you invite Keegan to the stage?
Shalom, Rabbona Shalom. Oh, I've detected some amazing projections on here, like the NFFN. There was another similar NFFN statement yesterday. But projection is everywhere. Be careful what you say about people. You know, and be careful what you say. Because it's all projection.
What's happening with Buttercup now? Like, there's this whole sort of issue with Issa, barely friends, and like I haven't been on the app, but like she's really garnered the attention of like most of the people on here.
She's a brand now. She's a brand managing expert.
Hey, what's up, Abby?
You know,
we're just talking about the drama here on Clubhouse.
You know, all these people show up on my fake book, like, be friends with them, and I add them. They don't fucking accept my shit. What kind of losers don't accept somebody's friend request after literally talking to them for years? How annoying.
Maybe they just don't want, like, more spam communication, and they're trying to, like, limit.
Yeah, it is hard with you have so many houses, and once I friend you, all your houses show up, and it just messes with my Clubhouse feed. So
like, it matters? You're wasting your time here. Who cares?
Well, no, I know, but then it's wasting more time because I'm having to scroll through to find the right house, I guess.
Got it. I'm not the time waste you want. I understand.
Yes, exactly. So it's not that I wouldn't befriend you. It's that I can't. I'm not. It's just it's a waste of my time.
Yeah, you have a time preference of wasting that you'd rather be wasting your time on.
So
exactly, yeah.
The thing is, Keegan, do you understand what super normal stimulus is?
I'm assuming it's so normal. It's the normality of being stimuli. What is it though?
The strict.
I can read it off to you.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it. Yeah.
Yeah, a supernormal stimulus or super stimulus is an exaggerated version of a stimulus to which there is an existing response tendency or any stimulus that elicits a response more strongly than the stimulus for which it evolved for.
So Clubhouse is technically a perfect example of supernormal stimulus, meaning that all of these stupid conversations and gaslight type statements, it's all supernormal communication. And so we are taking our rights as an American, our First Amendment right to freedom, to speech, to say what we feel, to feel what we say, but in a super, normal, super stimuli, like even reverse engineering type of way. So all I'm saying is that when you understand the exaggeration of the communication that's happening here and just how it's really all just un-American. It's anti-American because it's not efficient communication. It's just all hyperbole and stupidity and aneurysm church type activity. Heretical behavior, really. And you could call it crude or vulgar, but the point is, if you want to become more, the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you're going to get. So technically, everybody here is just retarding. And that's what's actually happening. People are like getting closer to the final door because everybody goes through the same door. It's just a question of what did you say before we all get to the same door, And so I try to read books and force it because I don't want to get to the last door, open that door, look back at everything I said and say, Jesus, it was all just my stupid opinion. And like nobody cared. It didn't end anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. Like all my opinion statements are meaningless. They'll do nothing for me. Like they will not change my life in the slightest. I mean, they can if anyways, you get my point where it's like it's better to force a book than it is to engage in these conversations in the slightest. It's all stupid. And the green bean.
Would you say, John, that everyone's sort of like spiraling out from like sort of the tunnel reality that they're existing in, forging new pathways that don't exist on those books that you talk about?
It's just choice of communication where I know that the wiser my choice, the greater the outcome. And so it's, I'm just saying, if you listen to enough gay black men on this app, like you will
become a gay black man.
No, you won't become a gay black. I'm just saying it's stupid. Like I've already solved the problem of Clown House, meaning that right now I have 4 recording studios recording Clubhouse rooms live onto YouTube. I want to record what people are saying, but I don't want to hear what they're saying. I want to limit that as much as humanly possible. Like how there's that scene in the movie where he's like this much, and then he's like this much, like even less. Like I want to get what I am listening to on this app down to as little as possible. You get it.
You still want to be mind raped by other people's brains.
It's not mind rape. Listen, you got to understand, it is a collection of very unique people here. The whole world, like most people are not on this app. It's just a very small percentage of people who consistently come back. And so,
those people that get the gold awards on their profiles, 0.1%, you must like wonder how many hours they're spending every day to get that.
Wait, what does that award mean?
That means like they're the top contributors on Clubhouse.
Yeah, we call it goy points, and that's
what it is.
Yeah, it's goy points for the best goyim on the app, and luckily I've not got my goy award yet, but I hope to one day.
So
yeah, you're like top 5%, Keegan.
I'm gonna tell you,
top 10.
Yeah, I'm top 5 goy.
Keegan, I mean, you do realize that, like, so the thing about Judaism and Christianity and Islam, technically all supposedly worshiping the same, deity, that's actually an opportunity, because most Muslims can't read the Quran. you know, and they can't read it in English, and they never have and never will. So the whole thing becomes a book club opportunity. And, you know, I think it's a real opportunity because most people are very unhappy. And it's really because of the synthetic plastic model or mold that they're living in. It's not dynamic enough. And so I'm just saying, like, in terms of communication, programming, psyoping, reverse engineering, controlling, mind controlling people, the Quran, the Bible, the Talmud, the Tanya, the Torah, these are all communication technology tools to control other people's attention economy. And so I'm just saying there's an opportunity cost for your goy slop. You know, when you come on here and you waste your time, literally, you know, saying funny jokes like, you know, goy coin or goy goo or goy boy or goy joy or goy ga, you know, ich yach, yach ich. Those are my two favorite Hebrew words, ich and yach. If you remember ich and yach, you'll understand the meaning of life. It's not yach and ich, it's ich and yuck. You know, choose your words wisely. I am philosophy. I am complete. Oh, you're gonna marry Erica. You know, so the thing about her last night when Trump called her out and he was like, Erica's here. Oh, she's been through so much. And she's like, you know, like,
Wow, that's really disrespectful. She's a widow.
I get that, but to me, that's like state propaganda. And if she was involved in a conspiracy to kill Charlie, like, we want to know.
What the hell's wrong with you? That woman's a widow.
I get that, but many people who die are victims of their there's crimes of passion out there. And so to think that this could not be a crime of passion and not from the trans shooter, that Kash Patel, who I have absolutely no credit, if anybody thinks that he's not the biggest, like, you know, Kash Patel is up to some fucking games. Let me tell you.
What do you think?
I get it. I get
You
it.
guys don't trust our government? Well, time out. You don't trust. He wants us all to go to Valhalla. What's your problem?
You know what? I don't trust. See, when he's slamming a beer, screaming in the locker room, like, that reeks to me of somebody who has been manipulated or compromised.
You've never been hanging out with the boys. Or
Dude, when you become the spirit of J. Edgar Hoover, I mean, maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe that's who they put in charge. Anyways, I'm just saying that Trump is the master magician. Trump is truly the magus. Like, last night he said maybe he should give himself the Medal of Honor because he views his assassination and his gunshot wound as at least a Purple Heart. Anyways, if you yeah.
Philosophy, Scott Adams describes Trump as a master persuader, master hypnotist, in a sense that the way that he can reference himself in first, second, and third person it hypnotizes you, you know?
Also, it's
Scott Adams takes up the butt first, second, and third person. So how can we trust Scott Adams?
See, Trump
take the vaccine, so you know
exactly.
Trump also has these little like sigh remarks, like, "Isn't that so amazing? Isn't that just the most amazing?" Like, he has these little like I was noticing it yesterday where some of the stuff he says sounds like, what the fuck? Like, why did he say that? Then he like comes in with this like little thing to like bridge to the next piece. Anyways, last night was, I mean, it was pretty amazing because I enjoy upsetting the left, particularly, and I like upsetting the right too, but I really like upsetting the hardcore leftists as much as humanly possible because they're the ones who can benefit the most from philosophy. And when I talk about philosophy, I'm really talking about like Marcus Aurelius and meditations and how you can't control the environment, but you can control your emotional response to it. And there is a way to live your life that is less draining. Now, I know a lot of this might be under the influence, but Pari, welcome to Philosophy House. Because welcome.
Yeah,
How are you, beautiful?
I am so good. What is the context of this discussion? We're just talking about philosophies.
Yeah, we're talking basically.
Or something specific.
Yeah, we're talking basically about love and intelligence. Are you currently in love?
Yes, I'm always in love. You have to be in love with all of existence to be intelligent.
Okay, and what is intelligence?
I think intelligence is this like innate wisdom we already.
Mm-hmm.
If we like kind of cut out the noise of all this like conditioning we've been subjugated through millennia, like through our environment and like how they've been shaped through generations. What?
My bad. Sorry, that was another phone. So you think it's intuitive? You think it's intuitive?
Part of it is intuitive. No, I feel like we have this innate knowing. For me, intelligence, kindness and empathy are the greatest mark of intelligence. I feel like the more intelligent you are, the less ignorant you are. It's like when you understand love, as your understanding of love increases, so does your understanding of the nature of reality and the universe. And as you become love yourself, you embody it. You understand you are the universal energy experiencing itself in refracted, fractal forms. And everyone around you is the same. There's like this interconnectedness, this unity, unified field of intelligence. And you can access this unified field of intelligence, like the collective consciousness, intelligence, universal intelligence, God, whatever you want to call it. Through like I tuned into it through like abstract meditative practices. Not a lot of it was very disciplined or yogic. It was more abstract, like tantra, kind of like going with the flow, like a dance.
Have you ever read the Tao Te Ching?
Technology.
No, actually, I don't necessarily follow a particular school of thought, but I've read diversely a lot of philosophy like Jung, Nietzsche. I don't agree with one philosopher like all encompassingly. Maybe Alan Watts. I feel like is closer to what I know to be the nature of the universe and like the reality of how it works. Then I've read a lot of like ancient esoteric texts that I derive a lot of my symbolic philosophy from, like the Advaita Vedanta, Gnostic texts, ancient Vedic texts, Egyptian Mayan symbolism. I read a lot of research papers on how modern quantum physics parallels to the symbolism in these texts.
What's your analysis of this phrase that philosophy always
Yeah,
likes to say?
I mean, and they got some
that
serious
all
weaponry, dude.
communication
Like
is just
I've
hypnosis.
been hearing that a lot of problems are.
Yeah, I agree to that. I feel like words subconsciously and consciously affect everyone a lot because words are like spelling, like spells. Like the more you repeat something, the more its energy manifests around you. So like how dictators and hierarchical power structures treat words is like you repeat something enough, it becomes part of like this nomenclature in your community. You repeat it long enough and hard enough, and like then it becomes part of culture and then tradition eventually. And
like words become sticky, right? Like this.
Yeah, they become sticky. Once you define something, once you reinstate it repeatedly, you limit its definition, you limit what it could be or grow into, as well as you materialize that idea. And repeat it enough times, it seeps into like collectives, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Decade.
So when you,
Cheap price. And you think you gonna turn your back on us? Fuck you. That's how they feel. Shit, I felt it.
That's true, man.
I'm just saying, man, we got our hand behind all that shit.
so anyways, I mean, I gotta get to the gym. I got a lot of paperwork I gotta do. I gotta do some yoga. I got things I gotta do in the real world. So, Pari, how do we optimize our off-world clown house time? Like, what's your opinion on using this conference call, to illuminate?
I feel like people need to tap into joy and playfulness in daily life. Like, I live my life like a movie. Like, I'm the main, because you literally are. You're the main character of it. You're the only one that exists for you. Everything around you is everyone around you, not living as them. They are reflecting on you. They're in their own little universe, own little world, and they're intersecting yours. So I believe do whatever makes you happy. Tap into the joy, playfulness, creativity. That's the purpose of life, to be grow, to be happy, to love as much as you can, as many people as you can, in as many forms. Love doesn't have to be only the sexual, romantic kind. And be kind, look at people with love, look at things with love, slow down, and be playful. Have fun. Yeah. And fuck morality. It's very subjective. That's how I feel, that's all.
So, you know who Maharishi is?
Yeah, transcendental meditation.
Yeah, he talks about the creative intelligence and how the creative intelligence can solve, a lot of the problems in society, in our environment. So, what does creative intelligence mean to you?
Creative intelligence, I feel like, technically has a lot to do with like abstract pattern recognition and kind of being like in a non-judgmental space in your mind. That's where creativity blooms. It's the opposite of rigidity or like following rules. So I feel like we are closest to godliness, to being gods, when we are creative, because God's a creator. And I feel like the purpose of life is to embody godliness, to become as close to God, as close you can get to becoming God. You know what I mean? I don't think God wants you to worship them. I think God wants you to become God, embody them. That's all. Yo. Are you guys still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So like the Gnostic texts, right? Like world shards splintered from God, right?
Yeah. Gnostic texts were like teaching, giving us a blueprint on how to become godly, like God, not like follow blindly, ritualistically a God. They were giving you a blueprint for what you can do to embody that consciousness, that God, Christ consciousness, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Have you read any Hermetic texts, like the 7 Principles of Hermeticism?
Not really. But I feel like the Hermetic texts align closely with a lot of Advaita Vedanta, which is ancient Indian texts that I've read. And I feel like all wisdom and knowledge has been the same since the beginning of time. Language of perception changes according to the era we're in. So people have been, these people that lived and tried to awaken people or give them these teachings were symbolically teaching us the same thing in different like languages according to the era they were in, and the same wisdom. There's only one truth. It's been the same for, like forever since the beginning of cyclical time. And I also know the Big Bang was like the universe fucking itself into existence, like the Big Bang, and it still is. Because like everything in creation stems from duality, and this needing to reproduce is like creatively trying to love oneself better. Kind of like joy.
Ari, have you ever like watched those videos on YouTube where like it's ASMR? That's literally your voice. It's ASMR. It's pretty wild.
Really, I've never gotten that before. That's
Is
fun.
that what you're thinking, my friend, in philosophy? Is that like similar?
No. What?
Me?
Yeah.
Nay.
What'd you say?
Oh, like pottery,
No.
like.
I'm texting a bunch of people.
Oh, no worries, man.
No. Yeah. Go on.
Well, anyways, have you heard of this guy named John Dee? He was
John Dee.
Yes.
No.
He was an English mathematician, astronomer, teacher, and astrologer, and occultist, as well as an alchemist.
Yeah.
So he was like he was a court astronomer for Elizabeth I, and he advocated for the foundation of like these English colonies and to form a British Empire. So like literally this wizard advised the queen, hey, like this is what you should do.
I know, like in India, everyone, like, because I'm from India, we all, like, all the people in the 1%, we all, like, know that, like, magic and science are, like, the same. Science is, like, magic in material form, like, inverse black magic. It's things that follow each other. Wow.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. I think though that like based on the way we use our words now, it's like very hard to really understand that.
That's why, because words are so powerful. A lot of monks and like sadhus and like these high religious teachers practice silence so that when they do speak, and they only speak truth, so that when they do speak, their words are impactful and instantly manifest into something because they're not scattering that energy of words needlessly or untruthfully. So they're more impactful.
Yeah, I was really.
That's why, like, music, subconsciously, the music you listen to, like, kind of, like, shapes your nervous system as well.
Yeah, in terms of like manipulating or harmonizing your nervous system, I play music a lot. I play the flute, and like basically if you go to a very contentious room on this app, you're processing it all and your body is, absorbing it, digesting it psychologically, etc. But if you play music, you end up becoming like you reframe it in a way where it's like you're playing court music to people having a debate.
Yeah, it's like sound without the noise of the words that can intercept it. I feel like it's very healing, especially classical music, instruments. They're really healing. And vocals without like meaning. Everything in the universe is vibration, energy, and frequency, and music is to deal with frequency. We are like water, like conscious water frozen into this particular frequency. Everything in the world, every object, like a table, your laptop and phone are the same energy, vibrating at different frequencies. Lower vibration is more solid, more immovable object, and higher vibrations more fluid, like humans. And God is like highest is omnipresent vibration, like core vibration. Everything we can see is an electromagnetic field.
Well, it's a performance in a way. Like your whole life is one long performance. And, if you look at the success of a musician or the failure of a musician, it's very similar to the success of a politician or the failure of a politician.
Whoever controls the media controls the mind. And yeah, so it is the collective deciding entirely. It is like a politician's job, for sure. But also, like, how can you trust anything in a capitalistic world? It's not even like democracy is an illusion. It's an autocratic capitalistic world because capitalism values ownership, not work. And people have been brainwashed to make them feel like they have power over things by saying that capitalism values work. But it doesn't, because I am from a business family, and though I reap the benefits, I clearly know the insides of how this works.
Well, what kind of philosophy do you enjoy? Like, do you actively read any books?
I write my own. I actively read like a lot of books, but I don't subscribe to a school of thought because I developed my own. Like when I was 18, and I wrote a book. It's about to be published this month. And I write a lot of research papers decoding the theory of time, the nature of reality and the universe, and systems from the futuristic perspectives that would help separate states as well as countries and the world as a whole. Systemic architecture, basically. Yeah, I like to decode truths. Like I go down this rabbit hole of like analyzing things through like abstract pattern recognition, drawing parallels between multidisciplinary subjects to synthesize like true knowledge and wisdom.
So, she probably already realized that.
Shiva as eternal silence, infinity, unboundedness, transcendence. 12 October 1975, Courchevel, France.
संचारः पदयो प्रदक्षिणविधि स्तोत्राणि सर्वागिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तद्दतखिलं सम्भूतवाराधनम्.
The Upanishads describe the state of least excitation as Shiva. Shivam Shantam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma Savigyeya. Shivam. What is Shiva? Shantam. Eternal silence. Advaitam. Non-dual. Unity. Infinity, unboundedness, immortality. Shivam, Shantam, Advaitam, Chaturtham Manyante. We take it to be the fourth state of consciousness out of the relative activity and silence, out of relativity, it's the transcendence. That is Shiva. Shivam, Shantam, Advaitam, Chaturtham Manyante. What is that? It is the self. Ourselves, yourself. It is the self of everything. It's the pure life, pure intelligence, pure existence. Chaturtham Manyante is the fourth state of consciousness. We uphold it to be fourth. In the state of ignorance, we uphold it to be the fourth. Chaturtham Manyante, Sa Atma, that is the self. It's our own being. Savigyeya. That is worth knowing. That is the object of knowing. It's a very great truth of life. And this song describes what it is in its manifold aspects. The state of least excitation, what it is in its states of excitation, in its different states of excitation. Atma Tvam, the self. What is Atma? What is self? You. Thou art that. You are the self. You means something other than the experiencer. Experiencer is the self. You can be attributed to any object of perception, any object of experience, any object of knowledge. And what the Upanishads say? That Atma, which is the fourth, that state of least excitation, is worth knowing. In this, any object of perception becomes worth knowing, because every object of perception is nothing but the self. Object of perception is excited state of what? Excited state of the state of least excitation. State of least excitation is the self. So every object is the expression of the self.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't, not that I don't care about Monroe.
Expression is in its pure value that of which it is made. It is made of the self. A beautiful vision of unity consciousness. You are the self. Homogeneous, wholeness, unified awareness recognizes everything which is different from everything else, the whole field of difference and diversity in terms of the self. Atma Tvam. You are the self. Girija Mati. The word Girija means born of Giri. Giri here will take in the meaning of a mountain. Mountain in the meaning of huge, big, great, enormous, Brahman. Mati means intellect. What is intellect? Is born of the great, Girija, born of the Giri, born of the mountain, born of the huge, enormous, great Brahman. You are the self. And what is another element that one experiences? The extreme transcendental value, universal value, is self. And what is the individuality that is little grosser than the self? Intellect. What is that intellect? It says Girija Mati, born of the great, born of that huge, enormous, unboundedness of Brahman, is the intellect, the first impulse of creative intelligence. Pure creative intelligence, pure intelligence is yourself. It is in this that the science of creative intelligence says unfoldment of full potential of yourself. The teacher of science of creative intelligence teaches what? The unfoldment of the full potential of the self. He shows in the student the self, Atma Tvam. Thou art that which is the self, enormous and bounded. From thee is born the intellect. Into thee is the impulse of thyself which rises as intellect. So intellect is just the impulse of the self. The self, which is state of least excitation, and state of least excitation present in all the excited states. The intellect, which comprehends Brahman, permeates in its unexcited value, in the value of the self, it permeates all over. And because it is value, it permeates all over. In the value of the self, it is capable of comprehending the enormous unboundedness. Brahmi Chaitana, Brahman consciousness, unity consciousness, is that state of intelligence which is wide awake in itself, in its omnipresent state. And then impulses start, and those impulses are the waves of intellect. The intellect, individual, has its stand or basis or essence or life structure in the cosmic intelligence, which is unexcited state. And then excited state is the intellect, different display of creative intelligence all over in the entire universe is yourself. It's a beautiful vision of the total process of evolution and the supreme state of evolution. You are the self, and from the self is born the intelligence, the waves of intelligence. Girija Mati, the intellect, is born of the self. And it is the intelligence which is at the basis of all evolutionary process and all expressions of the unmanifest. It's the same thing that quantum mechanics says, state of least excitation, present in all the excited states. All the excited states are the expressions of that non-excited state. It has to be taken on the level of consciousness, and then it becomes a field which can comprehend the enormous and bounded field.
Then you have a red flag because it's
You don't have.
like look at the bank. Because your data, when you have data, it goes two ways. It goes
Am I supposed to be a sentence or something?
No, I'm not here. No, I'm just talking.
That's exactly right. You're not here. Exactly. You said it exactly right. You're not here. That's exactly right. You're not here. There you go.
No, because you've been talking. CO.
Kiriya Tvam. Atma Tvam Giriya Mati. And with the intellect, the display of intellect is by virtue of prana. It's the prana which gives motion to intellect. Prana which gives motion to intellect. What gives motion to behavior? Friends. So this line says the different ups and downs, different degrees of breadth are the frames which uphold behavior. Behavior of the intellect is on the level of prana. If the intellect is very active, prana is very active. Intellect is silent, prana is silent. Both go together, and in their various structures, in their various degrees of expression, they are framed together. This brings in the likeness, the element of likeness, the element of harmony in the midst of all diversities. The different divergent values in creation, they are just the different expressions of the prana which serve to be the friends of intellect. The intellect plays with them all. Intellect moves with them all. Here is the knowledge of how creation evolves, stays in its divergent values, and moves on to higher states of evolution. Every state moves on to higher states of evolution. Two elements are counted. The three elements are counted. The self, the intellect, which is an impulse of the self, and then the prana, which gives direction to intellect. It's a beautiful analysis of what creative intelligence is. In its unmanifest value, it is the self. And when creative intelligence in its unmanifest value is myself, then I can live my own full value. If it were not the case, it would not have been possible to live the full value of creative intelligence. But because the unmanifest entirety of creative intelligence is myself, it's possible to display one's full potential. And it is in this that we find quantum mechanics establishing all possibilities on the level of state of least excitation. State of least excitation is a field of all possibilities. It is the home of all the laws of nature. The intellect, which is in tune with the self and is surcharged with prana, is surcharged with that life energy. It is a field of all possibilities, and it has expressed itself into varieties of movements and actions, and the display of the whole diversity in the universe has come along. It's a beautiful, beautiful words. Atma Tvam Girija Mati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham. The physical manifestation, the material manifestation of that pure intelligence, which is in its unmanifest value is the self, in its first impulse is the intellect, and prana, it is to give energy to the intellect, to give direction to the whole manifest world. And then, where do they reside? Shariram, Griham, Shariram, the physical structure, the body. All the manifestations are nothing but the bodies of pure intelligence, the bodies of prana. Prana gives the direction to pure intelligence, to intellect, and then that expresses different values of that absolute unmanifest. And that is the reason why we see so much of variety, so much of differences, because that absolute is infinite. Infinite being the source of the finite could afford to express itself into infinite ways, infinite varieties, infinite expressions. This is what it means. Atma Tvam Girija Mati Sahachara Prana. The prana, different values of breath, which is giving an evolutionary direction to everything that is there in the expressed creation. Shariram, Griham, home. Body is the home. This immediately separates the body with the self, immediately brings about a distinction that one experiences in cosmic consciousness. This is the body, I am that, I am a witness to that, I am separate from that. Immediately it establishes a relationship of the subjective and objective reality, even though the objective reality is nothing but the expression of the subjectivity, but there is that kind of separation. And this kind of separation begins to be clear when the analysis of the creation begins. When intellect analyzes what is creation, it finds two values, objective and subjective, the prana and the intellect. Prana may be associated with existence, with material expression. So, in its expressing values, there is sequential development. Atma, intellect, that is self, intellect, prana, various aspects of prana which structure the family of activities, different kinds of activities, different friends gather together, and where they all reside in the body. So, in the process of manifestation, it starts from unmanifest and then expresses itself into impulses. And then variety of it. And then once the variety comes, the unmanifest value of intellect and prana, and eventually the unmanifest value of the self, they all get covered by their own expressions. And the expression becomes a shell.
Having a fun scroll?
To hide the inner
Bet you never
reality.
seen some.
A coconut. Very expressed value, and inside its wholeness, hollowness.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's man. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's the allure of, Susan Collins is up there, Bernie Sanders is up there, McMullen is up there, Mullen's up there. Sorry.
Words are so powerful. A lot of monks and like sadhus and like these high religious teachers practice silence so that when they do speak, and they only speak truth, so that when they do speak, their words are impactful and instantly manifest into something because they're not scattering that energy of words needlessly or untruthfully.
Well, he had to connect. He had to.
It looks pretty nice. And Tom, I don't know how he got the information, has the actual, maybe the year, make, and model number or whatever. In my fiction.
Yeah, I mean, someone mentioned earlier that we already have sci-fi solutions for problems, right? Like we.
So the police. If the police respond,
Bro, you're doing it right now, bro.
I'm gonna protect you.
Hold on. So you're doing it right now. So like, if we say due process is universal, that's kind of like a vague way of just kind of not having the conversation. But if we say, hey, there's certain groups of people
fit that, you know.
Sure.
But you know, like I say, like, God.
It's literally a master's degree in nursing.
Why would anyone get a master's in nursing when they can become a nurse practitioner in the same time?
I have no answer for that, but they do because the hospitals are like, hey, you have about a decade to get this done or you won't be able to keep your job. So a lot of old-time nurses are either retiring or they've gone to school in the last 5 years.
I remain agnostic. I let people develop. From an American perspective, I feel like, yeah, you can have any kind of a crazy idea. Let's see if it works out for him, Carl.
But yeah, if you haven't read that book, go read that book. It's great.
It's a good book. Gets more extra dimensional in the sequels.
Anyway, at least we get to, experience the wild ride. We'll see if we turn to, this weird, cool. The best case scenario, we get our personal AIs that solve all our problems for us. We get to live in a post-scarcity society. We get to live in VR or whatever. But or it'll be some crazy, horrible thing, and
it could be like Dune. Remember Dune?